one super interesting factor that AI is bringing to the table is that it challenges that we believe that we already know the factors that go into making a decision. If you want to predict whether a customer is going to come back to buy your next product, you think you know the factors that you need to put into that equation to come up with a prediction. And the beauty of AI is that it shows us that most of those factors that we believe are the trigger points, not necessarily the trigger points, and definitely not the only ones. This is Connect the Dots, the AI Impact Podcast. I'm Christoph Burkhardt. Welcome to the show. And the beauty is that AI can now take layers of data and add them to the models that we believe in. And out of a sudden, we find patterns in things that we would not have predicted. Whereas out of a sudden, we can predict where society moves. We can predict where customers are going. We can predict where things are happening and where they're not happening. And we can do so because we add data that we can't understand yet why that would make a difference, but somehow it does make a difference. And this is why it's super interesting to add very common sets that change human behavior on an individual basis. Take weather data as an example. So if you add that layer of how is the weather in that certain area for that certain customer at a certain point in time, can that be a predictor in many of the decisions they make on a daily basis? And I have to say, just from my personal life, geez, yes, this makes a huge difference. Whether it's raining or it's sunny like right now, whether it's gray outside or it is too cold, too hot, all these the data points make a huge difference in how I live my life on a daily basis. Meaning, yes, of course it influences what I buy, how I buy, when I buy, and why I buy. And this is not just for the person selling me an umbrella. And I think this is the biggest mistake that humans make right now, is to think that I'm selling umbrellas, that's why weather data is interesting to me. No, weather data is interesting to everybody who's not selling anything that has to do with weather. And this is the really core thing we need to understand, that we do not know the chaotic links between why people do what they do, and then how we can find those patterns, especially if we believe that we already have the factors ready. Right? So we know predicting from the past, so in this area, people have bought a certain product way over average. So no other place in our system, no other location have people bought this product more than here over the past 3 months consistently. So we can predict for the next 3 months, this will be the place where they buy it again and again and again, and this will still be the high sales price point. But that is such a human way of thinking about things, and it's such a biased way of exploring data. Because, of course, the past is not necessarily a predictor of the future. It's only if none of the factors around the data that you look at is changing. And if you go, you go through seasons. So, of course, there are patterns in a year that cycle, right? So, of course, right before Christmas is much better than in January if you're an e-commerce giant. But that's predictable, because it's a human construct that doesn't change. So that season, Christmas season for sales, doesn't change. But there's so many factors in our lives that change much faster, and they're not consistent. Take what people wear and what music they listen to. Right? So far it's used to be way too complex to link those things. So you have patterns in fashion, and you have patterns in how music evolves. And out of a sudden, we have AI systems and they connect the dots between those two. They understand that there are links between what people are wearing and what music they listen to. And if they change what they're listening to, they will change what they're wearing in a predictable way. We don't even know that. And that's the beauty. AI is showing us that there are things that we cannot predict because it's too complex. We cannot connect that many dots. And AI shows us that the factors that we believe predict certain behaviors, right? So, this person is changing what it's wearing, what she's wearing, because, that must have to do with the fashion week last month. Or it has to do with, her favorite model is wearing this. His favorite sports guy is wearing this. So that's why they're changing their behaviors. But really, in the end, AI might find now it's because all the people who changed their fashion in this way, they also changed the music taste weeks before. And they follow this album and not this album, and this artist and not that artist. Okay, so now we find that there are patterns that are linked that we couldn't connect before. We could not connect the dots because it was too complex. There's too much happening at the same time. Not complex for AI to figure out that these things are linked. Complex for us to accept that we could not see that, and that there are factors that we don't understand that AI can show us. For us, this means we can make better predictions and decisions about what we're going to do in the future if we understand that AI knows factors outside the factors that we already accept and go into the prediction.